Welcome to Thriving Tribesmen. My name is Kuri, your host, and I'm excited to be making this episode. I am responding to a post on Reddit where this gentleman was saying that him and his partner moved in together over a year ago, and it was as they moved in, the sexless relationship was already happening before they moved in. So again, as if you've listened to our podcast for a while, there's this thing I call the sexual decline mystery, where usually when things go a little bit stale in the relationship, you try and solidify it with something. So, for example, the moment you started the honeymoon period felt like it was going, you then decided, let's be official, let's be boyfriend and girlfriend or something like that. Or not even that. It should be more of a case of let's do something massive in order to affirm our relationship. So there's this things that happen. So it's saying that labeling that you're boyfriend and girlfriend, moving in together, getting married, having children. All these become milestones for you to try and commemorate your relationship and also try to revive the relationship. So by the time they moved in together, the decline for sex had already gone to its all-time low, because all this declines differently for everybody. But in this case, it had declined to the point that there was no sex. So they felt like the need to push to live in together, and maybe that might change things, and it didn't. So he started doing everything that most guys do, more date nights. He even mentions it on there. I started laughing when he did. More date nights, doing more around the house, and none of that worked. Yes, it won't work because that's not what she wants. So instead, she gave so many excuses of the reasons why it wasn't, why she couldn't do it. So, for example, I'm tired, I've got a headache, I'm not feeling well. All these excuses for the reasons why she doesn't want to have sex, which he was tolerating. So one day she came back from work. She was excited. She was flirty. She was trying to make things happen. And this is after a long time of not having sex. He says, "Do you want to go upstairs?" And he just went, "No." And I think that was a really good move. But it's only a good move if it's that opportunity of actually taking that opportunity. In fact, I think that's an opportunity where you can say no. But it didn't come from a place of empowerment, because he goes on to say that when he said no, she asked him 5 more times for it to happen, and he continued saying no. And as they sat down, apparently they went and cooked dinner, and as they were cooking dinner, there was no interaction. And then when they sat down, she was on the verge of tears, about to cry, and he went on to say that he asked her, is there anything wrong? Even though he knew that there was something wrong, because she had experienced rejection for the first time. And there's a part of him that was enjoying the rejection, or seeing her suffer the way he suffered. So he was exerting punishment, and the power that he could have harnessed from saying no completely got destroyed when he took enjoyment in her pain. So I think it was a power move to say no and put her in that place where she's thinking about it, which was perfect. As soon as she sat down and saw that it was negatively affecting her, instead of continuing this cycle, you could have then gone to taken that opportunity to actually talk about it and say, you know what, I know what you're experiencing right now. What you're experiencing is a negative response because of the rejection, but the fact that I was not prepared to have sex with you is because I've been rejected for so long, and right now I'm not at that place where I'm willing to do that with you, because it's been so sporadic. Whatever it is that you need to say, but I would have had that conversation then. It would have come as more powerful. You could have given your position where you stand in terms of sex and how it's important to you at that point. That was the best time to talk about it and get it resolved. But he used that opportunity to, pretty much smash up his future of ever having sex, because I can guarantee you the reason why she must have felt flirty, the reason why she must have felt horny, is the fact that there must have been conversations or interactions that were happening that reminded her that she wants to have sex with you and she wants to be with you. And sometimes, again, the influence of sexual attraction sometimes is to do with a guy who's orbiting around her. So if there's a guy who's showing a sexual interest, she will remember that, God, I actually like sex and I want to have sex. And you'll be like, oh, I'm going to go to my partner and then do that. So she had that sudden realization. And yes, it would be a bummer that you're going to have to talk about the lack of sex before you get offered sex. But I think the worst thing that could have happened is that he took that opportunity to pretty much destroy his sex life for the next few years, because the recovery from that, I know she's doing the rejecting, but when the shoe is on the other foot and you boot, it can cause more damage. You have suffered a long period of time. You have stayed in that, invested in that relationship. It means that you're more invested than she is. So there's a real danger of making things worse when you are spiteful when it comes to your relationship. And I know it's well deserved to put the boot in. It's well deserved for her to suffer within the rejection, because you've suffered as well. But at the same time, when you are spiteful and you do something like that for them to experience rejection, it might be worse than, it might actually cause the things to be worse. So, and from what you're saying, it sounds like it's not prepared to leave. So again, that was a bad move. If he was already prepared to leave and this was it, I think that would be perfect. You just say, you know what, no, suffer in your own sadness of rejection. That's how I feel, and by the way, I'm leaving. I think that would have been more powerful if he did it that way, and he felt like it was an untenable situation. But he made a bad situation into an untenable situation by being spiteful. So thank you very much, guys. Hopefully that helps, and hopes you guys to go through that. Whenever that offer comes up, that's a great opportunity to actually talk about it and say, you know what, this situation is making me really sad, and it's affected me as a person and my position in the relationship. I'm not really sure where we stand because of the sex. Everything else is great, but the sex is not great. What do we need to resolve that? In fact, how can we resolve that it's consistent? That this feeling that you're feeling right now, how do we make it consistent? And it's that opportunity to talk about it. It's almost a rejection, but it's an opportunity to talk about it and resolve things. So thank you very much, guys. Hopefully you have a good weekend. Thank you. Take care.